Oh, right. Welcome to Friday Reads, where I talk about what I read, what I'm reading, what I hope to get to next. And, I'm all over the place because I have had depression and anxiety and migraines, and I have to prep for work, and we've overextended ourselves on weekends. And I'm just like, meh. I'm not bad. I'm finally sleeping. But it's just been a weird time for me. And traditionally, Septembers have not been my favorite months recently. I don't know why. I just don't know why a lot of stuff seems to fall in September. Like last year was my big issue with my hamstring. The one before that was like transitioning to new kittens, closing on a house, which was exciting, but like one of the most stressful things I've gone through. I started like doing two jobs at the same time. I don't know. So this September, I don't know. It shouldn't be as bad, but like I'm already feeling slumpy. So maybe my body's just like tricking itself. But let's just, talk about my plans because I think I have a strategy. Because my issue right now is I don't think I have an audiobook. I need an audiobook or something I want to listen to. And I can only listen to the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack so many times. Yeah, I do like it. Although I do think I just get the song Golden stuck in my head. It's a bop. Absolute bop. So the first thing we'll talk about is the short story collection I'm reading, which is Fresh Dirt from the Grave by Giovanna Rivero, translated by Isabel Ade. This is a Bolivian author, and I think this is gothic, primarily, maybe. I don't know. I've only read two stories, so let me try and remember, and it was last week or 2 weeks ago I read them. So Blessed Are the Meek, it's a really interesting back and forth of a past interrogations and present day of this woman who is pregnant because she was essayed in her community by one of the priests, and basically kind of the double talk and double think of that all and how it ends. I think I read a book, Women Talking, way back, that is the same community. I think this is just these two works were heavily based on an actual thing that is known to happen. I'm just forgetting the name of the community, and I'm struggling to find a reference to that name anywhere. So, because I don't think there was a thing in the back about it. So that was cool, but disturbing. I really was engaged by it. I liked the back and forth. I liked how it ended. It was definitely gothic horror adjacent, I think. Then the next one I read was Fish, Turtle, Vulture. And this was again, another kind of interrogation type setting where this man is in the house of this woman telling her how her son passed away when their ship got basically stranded at sea. And he's recounting both to her and in his head how those final days go. And we're dancing around this question. And I think it's one of those ambiguous, I think we're left to draw our own conclusions sort of things. And it's a haunting story. I don't think it's scary, but it's haunting. There's definitely a lot of fever dream-like qualities to it because this man is recounting a time when he is very dehydrated and starved. So yeah, Fish, Turtle, Vulture was interesting. So I have four more left in this. I am liking the styles. They're pretty digestible, which is kind of what I want from short stories. So so the back says shipwrecks, spirits, mystic rituals, and medical trials. This is where contemporary horrors and ancient terrors meet. And I think so far that tracks. So that's something that's interesting, but requires me to have focus and time, and that's been fleeting. Then the other thing I'm in the middle of is A Stranger in Olondria. So I'll talk about these both at once. So I went to Toronto 2 weekends ago, and as I do, I go to a bookstore in the Annex. It's Baka Phoenix. It's only science fiction fantasy. It's glorious, especially because I did go into one Indigo, which is our Barnes and Noble in the United States, if you don't know what Indigo is. And there's a lot of fantasy. It's just all very similar looking fantasy romance, which is not an issue. Romantasy is not an issue, but it's boring. And this was just really nice to just see a lot of fantasy. And it also had fantasy romance, but it's just a lot of it. And I was really excited because they had this and the companion, The Winged Histories, which I know a lot of people really like this. I know a bunch of people like this. So I'm really excited. I don't think you have to read them in order. I just am, because this won the World Fantasy Award. So that was when this was first put on my radar. I think I like this cover more. But in general, the cover styles are growing on me, but they remind me of a book that I picked up when I was a kid with a bunch of illustrations in it. But I do not remember the book. I don't think I ever finished the book. So I am at part 3 of this. Now, my struggles with this book is Javek. Javek is, he loves his details. Oh, he's a traveler. So I really like part 1 because part 1 is him as a kid. And I really liked that. I really liked him as a kid being kind of like the heir, learning about his relationship with his mom and his brother and the land and his mentor. That was part 1. Part 2, he now gets to travel to Bane, I believe is what it's called, which is in Olondria. So he lives on an island, not really a part of Olondria, and then he's a pepper merchant's son, goes to trade in Bane. And he's just obviously the type of traveler who is like so indulgent about the details, and he thinks he's like painting this word canvas. I mean, for some people I'm sure it is, but for me it's like I don't find these things interesting, and I don't find these things interesting when I go travel, so it's a me problem. Like I am always about the human connections. So when I go to travel, that's the things I remember. I remember the people I talked to, the new people I met, the people I engaged with, like, and I like doing those things. Like when I went to Spain when I was a kid, the thing I remember the most is how we all really got to know this one waiter really well because we kept going back to the same place and the back and forth we'd do. Like that's what I remember. Do I remember Granada was stunning? Yes, but that's not the stuff I talk about. Whereas he seems to care more about the actual like architecture and the general vibe, and it hasn't translated well to my head. So the audiobook hasn't worked solo. Reading it physically has been a struggle. And so I think I have to just immersion read, especially because the last chapter I listened to on a walk yesterday was chapter 7, which is why my bookmark's still here, because I feel like I need to reread it. He was kind of in a fever dream, and it's a little mixed media-y, and I don't think it came across quite well in the audio. But I am technically at book 3, but I kind of only glazed listened to the first part of book 3, because he's just describing a place. So I do want to finish this. I'm just struggling with how to because of who I am, and because I'm slumpy, this is like not ideal. So I'm either going to pause it, or I'm going to immersion read it, or pause till I can't immersion read it. So that's how that's going. The thing I am excited to read, but again, physical reading time. What part am I at? I'm trying to find my place in this little book, because I didn't put a bookmark in it, but I found a bookmark on the floor, so we can fix this in real time. I mean, I finished part 1, and this is like not my first time reading this book. I just don't remember. Oh yeah, I'm actually further than I thought I was in this. Doesn't that bring me some joy? Yes. All right, I'm this far. In The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. Part 1 has been finished, and oh, so good. It's so good. And it's one of those things where, like, I really am picking up on things on each reread more and more. It is really working well for me. I don't know if it's because I've changed as a reader, or if it's because the world has just made me more aware of, like, the themes and how much I'm latching on to them. So, Teren is the main character on our cover here. She's a conscripted soldier as a child. She's coming back to her land, and she's drinking the Kool-Aid, okay? She has been conditioned, and she has to hold on to this belief that if she just plays by their rules, she will be rewarded. And she can protect the others, they're called Sands, the other conscripted soldiers. Those are her 2 main goals. Protect the conscripted soldiers. Actually, that's probably goal number 1, protect them. And goal number 2 is to ascend to protect them. Like, everything is for that. And I think something that this does really well is, like, you really do see, like, these are the tentpole motivations of this character so early on. And it really helps because she makes some dumb decisions, but it does all serve this motivation. And you can see, like, the double think, and her being like, no, don't think that thought. Think this thought. Like, oh, it's really good. It's really good character work for someone who is going back to their native oppressed land with very few memories. And so I love Teren's character work so much. And then you have Luca. Oh, Luca's a trip, and she's more of a trip each time I read her. So again, we're in both of their perspectives pretty intimately. Luca thinks she's doing everything she has to do, and she's very self-serving. Her main goal is to achieve power, not to protect, but because it is her right. She feels entitled to her inheritance. And I do think she believes she would be a better ruler than her uncle. But that's not her main motivator. Her main motivator is power because she feels like she is due that power. And that's where we first meet her. And oh my gosh, the whole like white savior sort of energy she brings to the table, and how she feels so strongly how reasonable she is that you almost like, you feel that too until you like pick apart her sentences and you're just like, that's a wild thing to think, my dear. Oh my goodness. There's some really uncomfortable, great, tense scenes in the first part of this book that just really set up our motivations for our two main characters, where they're starting off from, where they're going to grow from. This is a really good book. This is a really good book. An undervalued book in the Sapphic trifecta. Thematically speaking, probably the one I like the most based off the themes and how the characters are used for the themes. I'm trying to think. I think I like the Jasmine Throne a bit more. But we'll see if I like this series a bit more. We'll see, because I haven't finished this one yet, and I finished the Kingdom, the Jasmine Throne, what is it called? The Burning Kingdoms trilogy. There it is. So that's at least great, but again, I don't really want to listen to it. I tried. I don't really like the narrator's just voice. I don't even know about the pronunciations. I just don't care. I have my own pronunciations for all these words. They're all French names, because I do think this is heavily inspired. Is it Algiers? Is it Libya? It's one of the northern African countries that was a colony of the French, but I don't know which one off the top of my head. It starts with an A or an L, I think. I don't know for sure. Regardless, I'm excited. Now, what I'm thinking about for my audiobook, and I think this is a good plan, is A Sunny Place for Shady People. I have access to the audiobook, and I listened to her novel. And that's how I consumed it. And I consumed her novel, I believe, in September or in October. And it was a highlight of that period. So maybe she's going to save me again. She could do that. I don't even know how many stories are in here. This is such a pretty book. I got this book in Pittsburgh. It's fun remembering where you get these books from. Oh my gosh. Give me the table of contents. Ooh, there's art. I don't think I knew there was art. There's art. That's a creepy child. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12. All right. And they're all like 30 pages-ish, which I think is pretty good. So that's what I'm going to do. It's also our Patreon buddy read. This is also Patreon buddy read, and we are having fun in that chat. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know what else I'm going to be doing. I don't know. I'm just in a weird place. Like last night, I couldn't even just consume any media. Like starting at 7 p.m., I was just out. I was down for the count. So such is life. It's not like a big deal. It's just an annoying thing, correct? Like I think it's annoying. I do want to say though, next week I am releasing the Cadwell Turnbull interview on Wednesday. Monday's going to be the Should You Read for the series. And I mean, obviously you watch what you want to watch. It's fairly spoiler free. And I am very clear about when we talk about spoilers at around the 50-minute mark-ish in the interview. But if you're someone who's like, I love that you do these things, I really would appreciate if you shared it, watched it. It's just one of those things where it does do like 20 to 30% as well as all my other content, which is fine. Like it doesn't really matter. My content's not like, I'm not doing this professionally, but that's the only way I know that people, also care about it. And like, whenever I'm choosing to make content, there's a portion of how much do I want to make it? And then how much do I think other people will watch it? Because like, that's part of like this hobby for me. Like it is a combination. And for the interviews, I'm willing to take a fair amount of a low viewership, but it would feel better if people also liked watching it as much as I liked making it. Like that's where I like to try and be. I try to make it a little bit more in line. So yeah, that's kind of just what's on the horizon though. I'm just very excited. He's very smart. I really enjoyed chatting with him. And if you just want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here, is there a good one for the Unbroken? I don't think we have like sand. That would be silly. But maybe a desert. We have desert stuff. Yeah. So like a camel was very important in the first part of this book. So maybe a camel. And otherwise, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.